First of all, in Samoa there is zero gender affirming care.
Ya, untuk penyediaan hormon sendiri kita tidak memiliki jalur yang bisa langsung ke sana. Jadi kami biasanya melalui pemesanan. Pemesanan itu bisa lewat dan ya harga pengiriman untuk kesananya jauh lebih mahal dibanding harga dari hormonnya itu sendiri. Jadi biasanya untuk pemesanan hormon kita lebih kayak ke dikumpulin dulu nih siapa yang mau beli terus dikirim satu kali.
For the healthcare in my country, we don't have access to hormone pills and stuff like that. Most of us, we usually travel overseas, go in for hormone and other healthcare. And sometimes we don't have like a lot of the transgender community that could afford it. So that's why it's so hard for us to have access to it. But we're still trying to look for a grant that could help by providing us medicines and stuff so we can use it in our center, so we can have access, us in Tonga to have access to it. We don't have anyone who had transition in Tonga. Most of them, they travel to America, some in Australia, and some of us, like including myself, before we used to travel overseas and just get a medicine and come with it back to Tonga.
There still is a widespread narrative around there's no need. There's no need. Of course, I can confirm that those are the experiences and of course the feeling that's been shared across by most Fijians. But it doesn't change the fact that there also is a smaller population within trans communities that want gender affirming care. The language, of course, relating to gender affirming care, the terminologies, LGBTIQ in the Pacific is still very much alien. For example, in Fiji, we're not more than 200 years. We're less than that in terms of the introduction of technology and modernity into the country. So the language relating to gender affirming care, related to transness, is younger than that. So if we're allowed to evolve, because culture, tradition isn't a monolith, it's subject to change. If we're exposed to this, because it's not something that's negative, I guess eventually in the Pacific, the interest will of course peak. But in educated society, in educated LGBT communities, in educated trans communities, there is an interest. I guess it's obvious because of oppression and of course the lack of access to education and employment. The population of educated trans people in community is fairly small. There still is a large population of people, because of the oppressions they've been subjected to, they don't even know what gender affirming healthcare is.
We have a lot of trans men in Fiji. Most of them are not really coming out to this kind of spaces. They more like they like their own. They are worried if they come out, then what the family. And interviews like this, they worry that maybe it's gonna go out there and make a lot of more problems, because a lot of them face problems from their families. Like most of them are kicked out of their houses, and so most of them, they like to keep it low.
Trans women are mostly comfortable with hormonal therapy. I've never come across any trans men. We have never had any trans men who have started with hormonal therapy. But for trans women who are actually who have started their hormonal therapy, some of them can get a lot of hate crimes, like the hate speech. They get abused from the communities because it's something that is not accepted yet here.
First of all, in Samoa there is zero gender affirming care health practices, and And according to our conversations in our forums, when we discuss the topic of trans healthcare needs, there are quite a lot of responses in terms of the need for gender affirming care. The practice in Samoa is our fafafine are taking those pills from they do not go to see a practitioner, and I don't know where they get this medication that they undergo. Quite frankly, it's from under the table. Family healthcare tab.
Both of them have had to go to Bangkok, Thailand, in order to get gender affirming surgery. And even then, they did it on their own, at their own cost and through their own research and finding safe clinics to do that. And although that was a success story for them, that may not be the case for the next person. We need more awareness. When it comes to gender affirming care, I myself, as a healthcare worker, support it 100%. I believe that just like changing legislation, gender affirming care is life-saving. I do not feel the need to be on hormonal replacement therapy or to have gender affirming surgery, but that's not to say that it will always be that way. We need to move away from this idea that our identity is static, because it is not. Who we are and how we identify can change from day to day. Even though that is me today, that may not be me tomorrow. However, I do hope that should I change my mind and my ideals, that the service will be available to me. As it stands in the Cook Islands, it is not as accessible as I hope it to be. But just like changing the law, that is something that can easily be rectified.
When I got the opportunity to visit Bangkok, Thailand, and I've been visiting these health clinics that are specifically for gender affirming care, and I am amazed with the availability of these services here, and I reflect back to my country and think about, oh my gosh, I wish this clinic is in Samoa. I'm sure my community would be very, very happy. And seeing these clinics in Thailand and it's becoming a conversation that I brought back home. In addition, I was accompanying a Ministry of Health personnel to also access these types of services and see if there is how can they assist in trying to navigate this type of work to be existed in Samoa. Quite frankly, the response is it will go a long way, because we need to set up a good framework for this area. I really wish gender affirming care is available in Samoa. Another thing is, I have been asking around, and there is no doctor specializes in this type of practice, and that's because and that is kind of hard. And I wish there is a practitioner that can do this in Samoa.
Because I know hormonal therapy it's very expensive, and most of the communities, for those who can afford it, they will have it. For those of us who can't afford it, we might as well stay as who we are. And something that for the trans men here in Fiji, we've been introduced with the binders. Once that we were introduced with the binders, people started asking for binders, and it was one of the great I wouldn't say merchandise, it was one of the great product that was introduced to us, and we really liked it because it kind of it was Joe introduced it to us. when we came to Bangkok. And when I came back, I did brought some with me, and I shared it with some of the friends. And I always leave one with me. So when I'm with the communities, I always talk about these binders to them, because I'm hoping that one day that if we have sewing machines, we have those materials with us, we can actually sew our own binders. So I'm actually hoping that will happen in the future.
For me, myself, I am very confident in who I am and my identity in this time and space right now.
Yeah, I hope maybe our government can be able to have some funding aside for for the gender affirming, and maybe have maybe train some of our professional doctors to be at least be able to give that information in our country, which is in now. And maybe it's our basic human rights to access those services in our country and not get it from in the internet or from another country. But we are proud people of Papua New Guinea, and we want to be treated like everybody else in the country.